Part 3. Meanwhile, back in the dining car. After searching the train compartment where Molly had escaped, they found nothing. The agent headed to the dining car. He met with the waiter at the door. The agent briefed him in on what was happening. "Have you seen any strange creatures or other odd behaviors in this car this morning?" the agent asked. "Well, sir, there was a couple here earlier. They ordered an Express-0 and asked for our breakfast menu. I went back to their table to take their order, but they were not there. They vanished in the thin air. Gone. They didn't even pay their tab either. I thought that was strange," the waiter exclaimed. "Which table? Let's check it out together." "Well, right here, sir." The lady drank half of her espresso. Mr. and Mrs. Cosgrove were both under the table. Mr. Cosgrove was telling his wife what a good job she had done, so quietly sliding down the seat and under the table. As the waiter and the agent approached the table, they could hear the conversation coming from under the tablecloth. The waiter winked at the agent and smiled. He gently pulled the bottom of the tablecloth aside. He bent down as if he was just doing another normal part of his job and said, in his most professional tone, of course, "Are you ready to order now, sir?" Both Mr. and Mrs. Cosgrove jumped, enough to bump their heads on the bottom of the table. Enough light got through the tablecloth opening that the waiter had pulled aside to reveal that not only were the Cosgroves under the table, but the snake was sleeping right there on the floor next to them. The waiter pointed it out. Boy, was that a mistake. Quiet Mrs. Cosgrove just lost it at that point. She made a dash for the aisle. Mr. Cosgrove dashed after her. He did not know that the tablecloth had gotten wrapped around him, and it was now attached to his suit jacket. There was a crash, a bang, and a boom, and a sound of breaking glass as everything got pulled from the table onto the floor. The agent's voice was loud and clear. He was able to talk over the sounds of breaking tableware. He announced, "Before you scream or get hysterical, yes, there was a harmless snake loose in the dining car, but it was lost but now is found." Justin and Tim came into the dining car. They saw Molly wiggling out from under the table. "There you are, my pretty girl. So glad to see you. Boy, are we in big trouble." Justin picked her up and gave her a hug. The agent told him to put her back in the backpack and not to leave town. "Sit tight," were his exact orders. "I will have a discussion with the conductor and the chief engineer to find out what is to happen with you and Molly, the snake." The guys went back to their seat. 10 minutes with no news. 20 minutes still passed. No news. They started to sweat. "I hope they don't take Molly or throw us off the train," Justin said with a worried brow. "I'm gonna keep Molly and throw you off the train, buddy," Tim said with a groan. Finally, after about an hour, the agent and another staff member came to announce their fate. "Okay, guys, we should throw you off the train right here and now. However, we won't do that. But if you want to keep the snake, you must get off at the very next station." Justin and Tim looked at each other. "Okay," they both said at the same time. "We will do that. We are so very sorry for this commotion. Thank you for giving us a break. We will count ourselves lucky." It was a lucky break. The next station was only 20 miles from their original destination. It cost them an extra $50, but they were so relieved. Justin knew he would never bring another snake in a backpack on a train for as long as he lived. As for the other passengers, Expresso Rails gave them all free passes. They were good for a year to anywhere on any day that Expresso Rails ran. and the rail passengers clapped and cheered. Yay! The end.